Hi guys. So you want to become a DevOps engineer, but you don't know where to start? Then this video is for you. So today I'm going to explain complete DevOps learning path step by step from beginner to expert. There is no standard path for learning, but today I'm going to just explain my experience. Now there are several DevOps related roles like DevOps engineer, SRE, cloud engineer, infrastructure engineer, MLOps engineer, platform engineer. There are slight differences in these kind of roles, but basic skill set will be same. So here this learning path I am going to divide into three stages: stage 1, stage 2 and stage 3. These are the three stages I'm going to explain. Stage 1, that is foundation, stage 2, that is intermediate, and stage 3, that is advanced. Stage 1 is all about building a strong foundation. If you are starting from scratch, this is where you begin. Now some tools are in trending. So people will start learning from Docker and Kubernetes first. But you should not do that. You should not jump into Docker or Kubernetes first. First, you should start from Linux. So first you should understand the Linux file system structure, then basic commands like creating a file or copying a file, moving the file, changing the permission of the file, chmod, chown, these commands. These are very, very basic and these are very, very important. But where to start? Where to deploy your Linux instance? You can set up VirtualBox or VMware workstation on your laptop itself, but that is a little bit complicated. I strongly suggest go for any one of the cloud. You can go for AWS, Azure or GCP and you can create a free trial account. Then there you can create a Linux VM instance. Then you can explore how to do a SSH login from your laptop to that particular VM instance. Then once you log in, you can practice your Linux commands. You can execute any commands. You can play around it. Linux is very, very addictive. You can experiment anything there. So you have to be strong in Linux first. So first tool is Linux. So create a VM in any cloud, then practice all the commands in that particular VM instance. So next will be Git and GitHub. The DevOps cycle will start with our version control or our source code management tool. So Git is one of the version control tool and GitHub is one of the SCM tool. It is very easy to learn. You can download and install Git bash in your laptop. Also, you can create a GitHub account if you are not already created. Then you can practice all the commands like git clone, git checkout, git commit, git push, git pull. All of these commands you can learn. Then you can practice creating the pull request, merging the pull request, then merge conflict, then branch protection. All of these concepts you can learn. This you can learn in GitHub or any other ISM tools like Bitbucket, GitLab or any other tools. All these tools are very similar and it is very easy to learn. So in Git and GitHub, you can install Git bash and practice all Git commands. Then you can create a GitHub account and explore all the basic operations. I have created a complete tutorial for Git and GitHub. You can check out that. In one video, you can learn Git and GitHub basic to everything. So next will be CI/CD. You should understand the basics of CI/CD in this stage. Here you should understand what is pipeline and how to create a basic pipeline using any one of the tools like GitHub Actions, Jenkins, Azure DevOps or GitLab CI/CD. Any of these tools you can use. Generally, we use YAML file to create pipelines. So you should understand how to create a YAML file. Basically, you should understand the YAML file syntax here. You should understand the difference between several stages like first we commit, then build, test, deploy. You should understand all these stages. CI/CD's version, you can't learn CI/CD at once. You should understand why do we need CI/CD and how to create a basic pipeline using any of the CI/CD tool layer. So if you already have a GitHub account, then you can create a GitHub action pipeline there and you can execute all the steps and you can create a basic pipeline and you can execute, you can run and you can troubleshoot the CI/CD pipeline there. Then the last topic in stage 1 is cloud basics. So while learning the Linux, you should have already created a VM in any one of the cloud. So first get familiar with your cloud setup. You can explore what are the resources are available. Then while creating the VM, you can deep dive into what are the resource type you are going to choose, what are the OS, what is the VM type, what is the disk you are going to choose. Those things you can check in detail here. Then you can check out other resources like storage buckets or IAM roles, IAM permissions. These are basic resources, so you should be able to understand these resources very fast. Then also in cloud, you should understand the foundation of cloud, that is cloud networking. You should understand what is VPC, what is subnet, then how to create a security group, NACL, route table, what is internet gateway, what is NAT gateway. These are fundamentals of cloud and it is very, very important. You should master the cloud networking. You can't escape it. So in cloud basic, you can check what are the available services. Then you can go ahead and learn storage buckets, then IAM permissions and policies, roles, all of these. Then the cloud networking like VPC, subnet, route table, security group, IGW, NAT gateway, all of this. So this is the stage 1. This is the foundation. So if you want to become DevOps engineer, then these skills are must. Then let's go for stage 2. This is intermediate level. Stage 2 is where you will start working like a real DevOps engineer. Here first thing you are going to learn is containerization and Docker. Here first you should understand why do we need containers. What is the difference between VM and container. Then how to create a Docker file, then how to create images, how to run the container. Then you can go for advanced topics like volumes and networks. Here once you have the Linux instance, you can install the Docker there. Then you can create a sample Docker file. Then you can create an image and you can just run Nginx container or any basic Docker containers you can run. This is where you start. Then you can practice other Docker commands and other operations. For all of this, you can check out my Docker videos. I have created a playlist for Docker. You can check out those and practice Docker. So next will be Kubernetes. So Kubernetes is very trending and backbone of DevOps now. So first you should know why do we need Kubernetes. Then you can learn about the architecture of Kubernetes. Then you can learn about the pods, then deployment, services, ingress, all of these topics. So you should know how to deploy, scale, and manage a container application using the Kubernetes. So how do you practice Kubernetes? You can create a cluster in any one of the cloud. For example, in my case, I have created a GCP free trial account. They will give a 90 days free trial and you can practice any resources there. You can create a cluster there and then you can install kubectl and you can practice kubectl commands. Also in my channel, I have a Kubernetes playlist. You can check out all of those videos and master the Kubernetes. Now in any DevOps interview, Kubernetes is must. So then the advanced cloud. Here you should understand load balancing, auto scaling, then multi-region deployment, then the DB resources like RDS, then the caching, then the DNS like Route 53. All of this comes into picture in advanced cloud. You can practice all of this in any one of the cloud. Here you should concentrate on how to implement the best practices and how to minimize the cost. Cost optimization is very important. Also your architecture should be very secured. So while creating any resources, you should keep cost, security, all of this in your mind. Also, you are not going to create your resources in UI. So last topic in stage 2 is scripting. You have to learn shell or Python scripting. The first goal of DevOps Engineer is automating the manual activities as much as possible. For that, you need shell or Python scripting knowledge. You should know basics like creating the cron job or automating the deployment or automating your backups. Then there will be a monitoring script. For all of this, you should create a shell or Python script. Also for MLOps kind of role, Python is must. You should know how to use Panda or any other kind of Python packages there. Here you should know basics of scripting. As you develop more and more script, you'll be very familiar with shell or Python. But remember, don't do anything manually. Automate everything. That will save a lot of time. Also, it brings the consistency in your environments. That's in stage 2. You can learn Docker, Kubernetes, then the cloud, advanced topics, then the scripting. In stage 3, first you are going to learn is infrastructure as code or IAC. No one is going to create your cloud resources manually. You have to use infrastructure as code tools like Terraform or CloudFormation or any other tools. I suggest you should master the Terraform so that you can use Terraform with any of the cloud. You should know all the basics of Terraform. Then you should know how to use the Terraform modules so that you can avoid the repetitions. Then you should know the importance of state file and backend, all of this. You can install Terraform on your laptop only and you can practice Terraform. Then if you are more on AWS, then you can learn AWS CloudFormation templates also. So using IAC, you can automate the resource deployment. This also save the time and it will bring the consistency in your environments. The next topic you are going to learn is configuration management. So configuration management is used for your server deployments, then for server patching. For all of this automation, you need configuration management too. For example, you have 1000 Linux servers. Then you want to patch those servers or upgrade your OS version. Then you can't do this each of server manually, right? For those use cases, you need configuration management tool. As a DevOps engineer, you should learn configuration management tools also. You can learn any of the tools like Ansible, Chef, and Puppet. Each companies will use different configuration management tool. Personally, I learned Ansible and Chef. Purpose of configuration management tools also save the time and bring consistency into your environments. Here you should learn how to create Ansible playbook or Chef cookbooks and how to run these on multiple nodes. Monitoring and logging is very important part in DevOps. For your Kubernetes cluster, you can set up a Prometheus plus Grafana setup. Then for example, if you're using AWS, you can use CloudWatch monitor. Also, you can send your system logs into Splunk and you can filter there. And you can use the tools like Neuralink or any other tools to monitor your disk, memory, CPU usage, all of this. Generally, you use all of these monitoring tools to monitor logs, metrics, alerts, and creating dashboard, all of this. You should set up your alerts properly. Otherwise, you will get alerts for everything and you will ignore all the alert emails. Then if you receive an alert for actual real issue, and if you ignore that alert email, that will be an issue, right? So you should configure your alert properly. Then to store or manage your built artifacts, you need a artifact management tool. As a DevOps engineer, you should be able to set up an artifact management tools like JFrog, Nexus, or any other cloud-specific tools like ACR, ECR. All of these are very similar. You store your Docker images or your build artifacts there. Then your CI/CD pipeline should be able to push or pull artifacts seamlessly from these artifact management tools. Then security is very important. You should not ignore security tools. In each phase of DevOps, you should integrate security. Also, you have the concept like shift left security. Here you can use the tools like SonarQube, Verapod, then for any authentication token or password scanning tools, secret scanning tools. Also, you can use the tools like Snyk here. As a DevOps engineer, you should know all of this. You should not ignore this. Also, now we call it as DevSecOps. So security is also integral part of our DevOps. So that is the DevOps learning path. We have stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3. In stage 1, you have to learn Linux, Git and GitHub, then basics of CI/CD, then the intro to the cloud. Then in stage 2, you can learn Docker, Kubernetes, then the advanced cloud topics, then the scripting. Also, you can include these artifact repositories in stage 2 or stage 3. Then advanced, you can learn configuration management tools like Ansible, Chef, or Puppet. Then ISC tools like Terraform, CloudFormation, or any other tool. Then monitoring and logging stack like Prometheus plus Grafana or ELK. Then Splunk, New Relic, or any other tool. Then all these DevOps spaces, we have to include security. So learning all of this is a long journey. You can't learn all of this in 1 week or something like that. Actually, you can't say you know everything on DevOps. Every day you will learn new things. In DevOps, we have several tools, and each companies will use different tools. Mastering all of these tools is very challenging. But if you master one tool in each of these phases, then learning other tool is not difficult. But remember, start with Linux and directly don't jump into Docker. That's it from my side. Subscribe and check out other videos too.